In this video, we are going to be analysing Novavax ticker NVAX. Now, it is down 12% on the day. Firstly, why is this? It seems to be off news that they have ended their purchase agreement for their COVID-19 vaccine. So, we are obviously selling off quite heavy on this news. It has been quite a trend at day, so if it was something you were looking at more intraday, would have been quite an easy stock to trade. But onto the a bit longer term analysis, what are we paying attention to? So, one thing to obviously note off the bat, NVAX or Novavax went from $240 down to a low of $16. Whenever you see this, again, be cautious. Obviously, you do expect it a bit more in these kind of biomed stocks. But either way, whenever you see this, be cautious because it's down to $16 or say even $20. Doesn't mean it's going to go back to that $240. You're getting it at a discount. Again, these are very big. Well, all these kind of biotech firms, they're very big on really drug announcements and partnership announcements. So they're the key things to always be watching for. They tend to move very heavy off the confirmation of that news or just on the rumor of that news. But as soon as they get rejected or as soon as, like in this case, they get terminated, that's when you get that big downside. So again, always be cautious. Off this news, it wouldn't be unlikely to break that 52-week low. And if we push lower, what are going to be supports? So what we can see is we do have statistical mean at $16.70. So basically where we are now. Now this is key because again, this is where you see that kind of breakout happen. We're trading very slowly, we're getting near that level, and that's where we get that big move to the downside. We come back to retest it, and again, we're now continuing down. So at least on the intraday chart, be a bit more bearish. That is kind of its confirmation that it's respected that level, but continuing to the downside. But on the longer term outlook, we don't actually have any supports going lower, at least using the longer term strong levels. Because this stock has been on such a strong sell-off, there is no levels to give. So the only thing we can do is cut down to a shorter time frame, being 30-day and 90-day, to give you some support levels. And then what will we be paying attention to? So again, we're still fairly limited. We have $15.90 and $14. And then we also have a statistical mean at $10.65. So these are really the only support levels we have going lower because again, it's been in such a strong downtrend that it's made the deviations levels very wide. And again, when they're very wide, they're going to go into the negative, and obviously we cannot trade into the negative. So again, it's going to be a bit harder and a bit more tricky if you're trading to the downside because again, we're limited on what our strong support levels are. Obviously, you can use key psychological levels, so $15, $12.50, $10, $7.50, $5, and so on. Again, watch how it plays. It's something more you'd have to look at more intraday. What is the level 2 looking like coming into it? How is the time and sales coming through? Is it all buys? Again, be looking at that. But how this stock will be easy to trade is if in time we can get a move to the upside again, some sort of drug announcement or partnership agreement, where we can see a big spike to the upside. We then have resistances at $35 and $44.50. Now again, you can play these levels in two ways. If it's a news announcement, again, wait for it to kind of stabilize a bit before trading the initial move if you're looking to play against the trend. But again, what we'll be looking for is a move to this 35. Usually look to play the initial pullback. But again, because we're trading this, it doesn't mean that we're always going to expect a reversal. That's why we lock in profits along the way, move our stock to at least break even. Sometimes it will, yes, fade back down to that statistical mean, and that would be where we lock in the entirety of our profit. But on the other hand, you sometimes get a pullback, maybe 3 to 5 points. And you come back to retest it, and this is again then where we can turn a bit more long bias usually. Because if you break through here, what we're looking for is a break above, come back to test it as a support, and if it can hold, good indication that we will continue higher. So again, to get up to that kind of level, probably going to need some sort of big catalyst, usually something drug related to push us up that high, or at least a partnership agreement to kind of push us up back to those kind of levels. But again, that's how it's going to be an easier trade. Again, if it's falling, kind of continuing to fade, unless there's a catalyst to push it to the upside, again, it's going to be a bit more risky to trade to the downside. So again, be prepared if you're trading it that way. If we did look further up, though, we're looking at $54, $92. We also had a $72. And again, you can actually use this as a zone, the $91 to $93. And again, zones are always the strongest level. So if we did push up to here, even on a catalyst, this is something I may look for the initial short, even if it's off a catalyst, just because I know there will be a lot of shorts coming in at that location. And we have two final levels at 141 and 188. Now, yes, a lot of these levels are very far off. Do you need to pay attention to all of them? No. All you ever need to do is pay attention to where you are now. We're currently at $16.50. Again, be watching if it continues to fade, which is probably more likely. How does it react at $15.90? Are we looking for that bounce play? Again, what would our target be? Statistical means are around $16.75, so near enough a point upside, so you're probably going to want to be risking no more than 20, 30 cents on that kind of trade. And again, if we end up breaking below it, watch for that retest. If it retests at $15.19, you see selling pressure kick in, good probability that will drop 2 points near enough 2 points to $14. On the other hand, again, if you want to be paying attention to the upside, really you're going to be waiting a while, but $35 will be that first level we'll be paying attention to. And again, we're looking for that same pattern. A break above, come back to test it as a support, and if it can hold, good indication that will continue to $44. Anyway, that is the breakdown on Novavax. If you did enjoy the video, why not drop a like and subscribe and check out one of these 2 analysis videos.